Most people pay a devastating price for their goodness, unknowingly sacrificing success, respect, and power in a world that punishes the naive. In the next 25 minutes, you'll uncover Machiavelli's hidden truth about the shocking cost of being too good, and transform into a strategic force who commands life's game with unshakable strength. Backed by psychological research on power and human behavior, this isn't just insight. It's your shield against being exploited. If you've ever felt betrayed, overlooked, or punished for doing the right thing, this changes everything. Get ready to protect your power. Have you ever felt the sting of being too good only to be stabbed in the back? Maybe you went above and beyond at work, helping a colleague meet a deadline, only to watch them take credit for your efforts and climb the ladder while you're left behind. Or perhaps you poured your heart into a relationship, always putting your partner's needs first, only to be met with indifference, betrayal, or disrespect when you needed them most. Picture this. You're at a social gathering, playing nice, keeping the peace, avoiding conflict, only to have someone make a snide comment that cuts deep, leaving you humiliated while others laugh it off. It's a gut-wrenching feeling, isn't it? That burning realization that your kindness, your honesty, your goodness, qualities you've been taught to cherish, have cost you respect, opportunities, and power. Society drills into us from childhood that being good, selfless, fair, and always doing the right thing is the path to success, love, and admiration. Think about it. Every fairy tale you grew up with, every teacher who praised your selflessness, every motivational quote plastered across social media screams that goodness always pays off. But here's the shocking truth. In the real world, goodness without strategy is a one-way ticket to being us, overlooked or discarded by those who play smarter, not kinder. Those who thrive, the ones snagging promotions, commanding loyalty in relationships, or dominating social circles, aren't the ones blindly giving their all. They're the ones who balance goodness with ruthless calculation, a truth Niccolò Machiavelli exposed centuries ago. You're not losing because you lack talent, effort, or heart. You're losing because you've been conditioned to prioritize goodness over power in a world that rewards strategy over sacrifice. If you're sitting there, nodding, feeling the weight of those moments when your kindness backfired, whether it's a lost opportunity at work, a betrayal in love, or a hit to your confidence in a social setting, you're in the right place. This isn't about personal failure or a flaw in your character. It's about a systemic trap, a societal setup that leaves good-hearted people vulnerable to those who exploit their kindness. Stick with me, because we're about to unveil Machiavelli's hidden truth about the cost of goodness, dismantle that conditioning, and arm you with the tools to protect your power while keeping your integrity, transforming you from a naive giver into a strategic force no one dares cross. To uncover this hidden truth, let's turn to Niccolò Machiavelli, the 16th century strategist whose masterpiece, The Prince, didn't just redefine politics. It exposed the brutal mechanics of power that govern every human interaction, from corporate offices to personal relationships to casual encounters at a coffee shop. Machiavelli's hidden truth. Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims. In other words, goodness without strategy makes you prey in a world of predators. Modern psychological research backs this up. Robert Cialdini's influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, shows that people exploit selfless behavior through reciprocity traps, while studies from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology reveal that overly altruistic individuals are perceived as low status, inviting manipulation. Goodness isn't the problem. Wielding it naively is. Those who succeed don't abandon kindness. They pair it with strategic calculation to protect their power. We'll break this down into 3 actionable levels to make you untouchable. First, recognition. Identifying the shocking costs of goodness and how they're undermining your life. Second, protection. Building strategic defenses to shield yourself from exploitation while preserving your integrity. Third, mastery. Pairing goodness with Machiavelli's ruthless tactics to command respect and power ethically. This isn't abstract philosophy or feel-good fluff. It's a practical step-by-step system you can apply today, in your next meeting, conversation, or relationship, to stop paying the cost of goodness and start wielding it as a strength? Are you ready to see the trap of unstrategic kindness and turn it into your unfair advantage? Let's dive into Machiavelli's hidden truth. Let's start by unveiling the shocking costs of goodness, how your well-meaning kindness is silently sabotaging your success, respect, and power. Machiavelli warned, "He who is too good is easily deceived." Psychological research, like Daniel Kahneman's work on cognitive biases, shows humans overestimate others' goodwill, making kind people easy targets for manipulation. Goodness without strategy invites exploitation, diminishes your status, and hands power to those who play ruthlessly. Here are the key costs of unstrategic goodness, grouped into themes with vivid, relatable examples to spark those aha moments. Theme 1. Exploitation of selflessness, costs 1 to 4. Reciprocity. Traps. Your kindness invites demands without return. Example. You help a colleague with their workload, but they never reciprocate, leaving you drained while they advance. Case study. Emma, a client, spent hours mentoring a coworker, only to have them take credit for her ideas in a boardroom. Over-availability. Being always helpful signals low value. Example. You're the go-to person at work for every task, but when promotions come, you're overlooked for being too nice, as seen in Cialdini's scarcity principle. Trust betrayal. Blind kindness invites deception. Example. You share a personal struggle with a friend, assuming trust, only to hear it spread as gossip, damaging your reputation. Guilt manipulation. Your goodness makes you a target for guilt tripping. Example. A partner says, "If you cared, you'd do this for me," exploiting your kindness to control you. Theme 2. Loss of respect. Costs 5 to 7.5. Perceived weakness. Excessive kindness signals low status. Example. Always agreeing in meetings to avoid conflict makes colleagues dismiss your input, per Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. 6. Lack of boundaries. Failing to say no invites disrespect. Example. You cancel your plans to help a friend repeatedly, but they don't value your time, treating you as a doormat. Vase. Overlooked leadership. Kindness without assertiveness costs opportunities. Example. A co-worker who balances kindness with firmness gets the promotion, while your selflessness leaves you stuck. Theme 3. Emotional and resource drain. Costs 8 to 10. 8. Burnout. Overgiving depletes you. Example. You take on extra work to help your team, but exhaustion leads to mistakes, harming your performance. Resentment. Build-up. Unreciprocated kindness breeds bitterness. Example. You support a partner's goals at your expense, only to feel unappreciated, eroding the relationship. Lost opportunities. Prioritizing others' needs over yours costs growth. Example. You skip a networking event to help a friend move, missing a career-changing connection. The aha moment is critical. Your goodness, when unstrategic, isn't a virtue. It's a liability that invites exploitation, diminishes respect, and drains your resources. Reflect. How many times have you helped someone at your own expense, only to be overlooked or betrayed? Maybe you stayed late to fix a co-worker's mess, only to see them get the praise. Or you put a partner's needs first, only to feel taken for granted. That's the recognition shift, seeing how your uncalculated kindness has been costing you power, respect, and opportunities, while others use your goodness against you. Pattern interrupt. Are you starting to notice how these costs have piled up in your life, chipping away at your confidence and influence? Once you see this trap, you can't unsee it, and that's your first step to turning goodness into a strength rather than a weakness. Now that you recognize the costs of goodness, let's build a fortress to protect yourself from exploitation while preserving your integrity, using Machiavelli's strategic wisdom. Protection starts with awareness. Notice when you're tempted to overgive, your urge to say yes instantly, to help without question, or to avoid conflict to keep the peace. That's the trap springing, signaling you're about to pay the cost of goodness. Counter it with specific, research-backed strategies for each cost, ensuring you shield your power without losing your values. Exploitation of selflessness, reciprocity. Traps. Vet requests before helping. If a colleague asks for help, say, "I can pitch in. How will we balance this?" This ensures mutual benefit, per Cialdini's reciprocity principle. Example: if they want your notes, ask, "What's the goal and how can we collaborate?" to avoid being used. Over-availability. Limit your accessibility. Instead of saying yes to every favor, respond, "I'll check my priorities and get back to you." This creates scarcity, increasing your value. Example: if asked to take on extra work, say, "I'm focused on key deliverables. Let's discuss what's critical." Trust betrayal. Protect sensitive information. If someone probes your struggles, deflect. "I keep personal stuff private. What's your story?" This prevents gossip, as seen in Emma's case. Example: share only surface-level details until trust is proven. Guilt manipulation. Neutralize guilt trips. If someone says, "You'd do this if you cared," respond, "I care, but I need to balance my commitments. Let's find a fair solution." Social psychology shows this maintains boundaries without conflict. Loss of respect, perceived weakness. Pair kindness with assertiveness. In a meeting, don't just agree. Say, "I support this, and here's how we can optimize it." Harvard negotiation research shows assertiveness boosts perceived authority. Example: if a colleague dismisses you, counter, "I hear you. Here's why my approach works." Lack of boundaries. Say no strategically. If a friend demands your time, say, "I'm tied up, but let's plan something intentional." This sets limits, per Journal of Applied Social Psychology. Example: decline a non-critical request and propose an alternative time. Overlooked leadership. Showcase strategic kindness. Help a team member, but frame it: "I'm mentoring to build team strength." This positions you as a leader, not a pushover. Emotional and resource drain. Burnout. Prioritize self-care. If overwhelmed, say, "I'm at capacity. Let's delegate this." Studies on workplace stress show setting limits prevents burnout. Example: schedule downtime and stick to it, even if others push. Resentment, build-up, demand reciprocity. If a partner takes without giving, say, "I'm all in for us, but I need support too. Let's align." This fosters mutual respect. Lost opportunities. Invest in yourself. Skip non-essential favors to pursue growth, like attending a networking event over helping a friend move. Example: say, "I've got a prior commitment, but let's connect later." Apply these, and you'll see immediate shifts. Colleagues stop exploiting your kindness, friends respect your boundaries, and you reclaim energy for your goals. Try one tactic today. Decline a non-critical request with, "I'll check my priorities," or deflect a personal probe with a question. Watch how others start valuing you more. Pattern interrupt. What if protecting your goodness doesn't make you selfish? It makes you powerful, ensuring your kindness is a strength, not a liability. By shielding yourself, you're not just avoiding exploitation. You're building the foundation to wield goodness strategically. Now, let's ascend to mastery, where you don't just protect your goodness, you pair it with Machiavelli's ruthless tactics to command respect and power, turning your kindness into an unfair advantage. Machiavelli advised, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. Be both." Combine the warmth of goodness with the cunning of strategy to dominate any arena. Here are advanced techniques to master this balance. Tactic 1. Strategic generosity. Offer kindness deliberately to build loyalty, but always tie it to your goals. Example: mentor a junior colleague, but say, "I'm investing in your growth. Let's align. On this project, Adam Grant's give and take shows selective generosity creates allies without exploitation. Tactic 2. Calculated presence. Pair kindness with strength. In a meeting, be supportive but assertive. I back this idea. Here's how we execute it flawlessly. This project's leadership per Cialdini's authority principle. Example. Smile warmly but hold firm eye contact when setting boundaries. Tactic 3. Outcome. Independence. Act as if others' approval is optional. If a partner demands your time, say, I'm committed to us, but I'm balancing priorities. Let's find a win-win. In a job interview, say, I'm looking for a role to drive impact. What's the vision here? This makes you the prize, per social psychology research. Tactic 4. Reframe. Kindness. Position your goodness as power. If you help someone, frame it. I'm building a stronger team, glad to contribute. This prevents being seen as a pushover. Example. After helping a coworker, note it in a team email. Supported X to ensure our success. Tactic 5. Neutralize threats. Anticipate exploitation and act first. If a colleague might take credit, document your work early. Here's my draft for the project. This aligns with Machiavelli's preemptive strategy. Tactic 6. Create scarcity. Make your kindness rare. Don't always say yes. Say, I can help, but my time's limited. Let's prioritize. This increases your value, per Cialdini's scarcity principle. Tactic 7. Shape perceptions. Control how your kindness is seen. Share success subtly. The team's win was huge. Glad I could guide it. This avoids envy while boosting status. Unlike the masses who give blindly, you're the strategist. Kind but untouchable. Generous but calculated. Historical anchor. Machiavelli navigated Renaissance courts by balancing diplomacy with cunning, making allies seek his favor while rivals feared his moves. Apply this, and you're not just surviving, you're rewriting the rules, turning goodness into power. Pattern interrupt. Imagine offering kindness that makes others owe you, respect you, and chase your approval. What if goodness, wielded strategically, could make you the most powerful person in any room? That's mastery. Ethical, ruthless, and giving you an unfair edge. Let's make this practical with 3 scenarios showing the old you versus the new you, so you can apply these strategies immediately and feel the shift from exploited to empowered. Workplace. Old. You. Helps a colleague with their work, staying late, only to see them take credit in a meeting. New you. Offer help strategically. I can assist, but let's clarify roles for the team. Document your contribution. My analysis drove these results. Great team effort. Outcome? You're seen as a leader, not a doormat, earning promotions. Action. Next time you help at work, frame it as leadership and document it subtly. Relationships. Old. You. Puts your partner's needs first, cancelling your plans, but they take you for granted. New you. Say, I'm all in for us, but I'm balancing goals. Let's find a fair plan. If they push, hold firm. Mutual respect is key. Outcome. They value your strength, deepening the bond. Action. Set a boundary in your next relationship interaction and redirect to a mutual solution. Social settings. Old. You. Always says yes to favors, becoming the helpful but ignored friend. New you. Limit availability. I can help, but my schedule's tight. Let's plan. Share kindness sparingly. Glad to pitch in. Let's make it quick. Exit early. Great. Vibe. I've got another thing. Outcome. You're seen as high value, earning exclusive invites. Action. Decline a non-critical favor today and exit one social event early. Apply one tactic today. Set a boundary, Frame kindness as leadership or create scarcity, and watch respect shift in your favor. You'll feel the transformation from naive giver to strategic force in real time. This knowledge is a double-edged sword, powerful enough to protect your goodness and give you an edge, but dangerous if misused. I'm sharing this as a shield to safeguard your dignity, influence, and goals, not as a weapon to exploit or harm others for selfish gain. You're now part of an elite minority, the small percentage who see goodness as a potential trap and wield it with surgical precision. Ethically, use these strategies to build stronger relationships by offering value while protecting your boundaries, advance your career without crushing others, and create a life where you're admired for your strength, not used for your kindness. Machiavelli warned that unchecked power breeds enemies. Those who exploit goodness without strategy often fall hardest, as history's naive altruists show. Wield this knowledge responsibly, focusing on creating value for yourself and those around you while shielding your power from exploitation. Do this, and you'll never pay the cost of goodness again. You'll turn it into your greatest asset, commanding respect with every move. Take a deep breath and feel the shift. You're not the person who started this video. You're now the strategist who sees the trap of uncalculated goodness, wielding it with ruthless precision to protect your power and command respect. The world that once exploited your kindness. You run it now, balancing heart and strategy to dominate any arena. For more, check my next video on Machiavelli's power plays for unstoppable influence. End with this Machiavelli quote. Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims. Be not one of them. Go forth, kind, strategic, and untouchable, ready to shape your world with unmatched power.